All right, now, believe it or not, New York, which is regarded as one of the most expensive and one of the most fancy cities to live in the world, is facing a serious problem. And that is of rats that seem to run loose across the city. And these pretty big rodents are creating a lot of problems for the city's residents. And now the city that never sleeps is seeking a Pied Piper who can use his magic pipe to try and lure the city's rats out, just like the assurance that was given by the mayor in the legend of Pied Piper of Hamelin. The job in New York carries a huge sum as well. So clearly millions in New York rats have been put on notice. The most populous city in the United States of America is hiring a director of rodent mitigation. The new position calls for a swashbuckling attitude. The new job was posted earlier in the week. It is part of the city's attempt to curb an explosion of its rodent population since the pandemic began. And believe it or not, anyone who can rid New York of its rats, which seem to be crawling out of all orifices in New York, will be paid a pretty princely sum of about $170,000. Now, what you need to have to qualify for this job is a bachelor's degree and also experience in urban planning, project management, and a proficiency in spreadsheets.
Fighting crime, fighting inequality, fighting rats is something that we are focused on as we continue to make this city a livable city. Everyone that knows me, they know one thing: I hate rats. You know, when we started killing them in Borough Hall, you know, some of the same folks are criticizing us now called me a murderer because I was killing rats. Well, you know what? We're going to kill rats. Rats have no place in this city, and we're going to use every method that's needed to do so they're not harming families and our quality of life.
The sidewalk dining outside of restaurants, first allowed in 2020 as a temporary measure to help blunt the economic fallout from the coronavirus pandemic, has now been blamed in part for the rat explosion in New York City. In October, New York officials announced for stiffer restrictions regarding the placement of garbage bags on the curbs to be picked up by sanitation workers. The trash, it appears, has encouraged an explosive growth of the rat population in a city that the Americans call is a crown jewel of their rich nation. Now, the urban legend says that there is one rat for each of New York City's 8.8 million residents. But a 2014 study now shows that there are well over 2 million rats who call New York their home. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.